your thoughts. You knew from the shed of dreams, the Leake in review.
Welcome to the program. My name is Leake. Adam Baldwin will be dropping in just a few. Let's start off with some tour dates. Later this week, you've got Sum 41. They're playing Ottawa, London, St. Catharines, Montreal, and more. Pup and Gob bring the support. Deer Rouge plays Nanaimo on the 31st. Victoria, Calgary, the Prairies, they all follow. New West fires up a run of dates February 12 in Saskatoon. They will continue to go west and, in fact, tour right down through sunny California. Let's talk with Adam Baldwin, shall we? Hey, you. Thanks for joining you.
Thanks for having me, bud.
I think you only have about 4 million things on the go right now.
Well, it's pretty quiet at the moment, which is...
What are you talking about, quiet at the moment? You're going on tour. You have like 30 dates coming up or whatever.
No, it's 3 or 4 here and there, and they're close to home, but I always have and always will have time for you.
We have to mention, right off the top, a beautiful song, a beautiful intro for the Leake in Review. Composed, conducted by a songwriter of the year, very well decorated songwriter of the year in many different territories. Nova Scotia, East Coast, SOCAN Awards. It goes on. It just goes on. Adam Baldwin created that. And you smashed that together. The fact that you smashed it together so quickly, I was blown away. But then again, you're a talent. That's what happens.
Well, that's kind of you. You caught me... I've exhausted everything else. I got about like 25 songs written, and they've all been demoed, and I had nothing to do. And I don't do well with idle hands. So when you messaged me and mentioned that, I was more than happy to oblige. And I'm glad you were able to secure the Leak in Review. Otherwise, it would have been all for naught.
There's a pastor and I don't know what the difference between a pastor and a priest and all the levels of hierarchy involved with the various churches and religions. But there's a pastor out there by the name of Leake. And he's got a podcast, which I can only assume is downright incredible.
You should get him on.
I should claim that I'm actually part of his bloodline.
Yeah, right.
Again, I don't know if pastors are allowed to do anything, if they're allowed to take wives, take a bride.
I think pastors are. It seems to me if you're going to get into that line of work, the pastor is the way to go. I think you can drink and have wives and carry on almost as normal, except you have to be at church on Sunday.
A pastor,
it's the priests that.
A pastor, a priest, they're really just early podcasters.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
They were the first ones who said, hey, I'm going to tell you a story.
Yeah.
Now, it's not my story, but I'm going to just retell. It's basically being a pastor or a priest could be a lot similar to just doing a murder mystery podcast because you're just retelling a tale of what had already happened.
Yeah, and it eventually leads to an awful murder of the Son of God.
There's photo evidence of it, and I'll say that a brutal ending to that tale.
Oh, listen, boy, they got creative with how to dispose of the Son of God, didn't they?
Just let birds eat you.
Oh my God, brutal.
Hey, this tour that you have coming up. Let's talk quickly about this because you're playing throughout Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, Fredericton. There's a whole bunch of dates. Do you have a piano brought out for you for these dates? Like, do you have one that's just kind of put in the venue, or do you tour with something?
Some of them, in Charlottetown, it's a small, almost cabaret type spot. I really like it. It's called the Trailside. They don't have a piano there, but a couple of these other spots, I'm doing some theaters as well, and they've all got sort of in-house pianos. That's not a luxury I'm afforded often, especially once I leave the East Coast. Nobody knows who I am. Then I sort of have to lug around my own kind of digital rig.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think when you look at all the musical instruments out there, next to drums, or first it's piano, then it's drums, you guys are basically heroes who decided to take that path of the heaviest, the most equipment, compared to these lazy guys who can just stroll up on a beach with an acoustic guitar and just jam out.
Yeah.
No pianos on the beach.
No pianos on the beach. They are impossible to move. If you take a real one with you, obviously. And, guys used to do that, right? They used to lug grand pianos around on the road with them and tune them every day. And that's far beyond my, I can't do that.
Have you ever tried tuning a piano?
Yes, I have. And that effort didn't last long. That's for sure. I've got buddies that kind of can kind of do it. But a friend of mine, Bill Stevenson, he's a great jazz pianist, and he comes out and tunes the grand I have at my house here. And I almost just have him in to listen to him play for a little while.
Right. You want to have a private audience from a guy that you actually really like.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, can I entertain you?
I have to pay him to be there, but
yeah. We've had a lot of things that are going on in the world as of late. There's apparently a new prime minister who will be coming in to represent the great country of Canada. Yeah. We've got a premier in Ontario who has just announced that he's looking at banning U.S. alcohol in Ontario, right, which I don't know if that's a fight you really want to take on. But unbelievably, there's a new president of the United States, and he seems to be making some moves. And I don't know what your take is on some of the moves that were made, but when anybody says that he's a maniacal dictator, and we're talking about Donald Trump for those who are just tuning in, anybody who says he's a maniacal dictator, I would question that, only because he's saying he's going to change. Makes me laugh. He's saying he's going to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And the idea that he feels he can go ahead and do that, and I don't know the rules and regs and renaming lakes, oceans, and gulfs. He could have went with any name possible. And if he was as maniacal as people say, wouldn't he just call it the Great Trump Sea?
Yeah, for sure. He would. It's good to know that his hubris, and it does have a high watermark, and it stops somewhere around naming the Gulf of Mexico after yourself. So that's the ceiling, it seems, which I guess is good to know, because we're for the next 4 years we'll want to know kind of where his boundaries are, I guess.
And maybe too, let's consider, wait a minute, if he's willing to rename this, are there other things that we can rename? And just work with him, kind of like prod him, send him something on a social platform saying, hey, haven't really been a fan of RFK Stadium. Can we change it? Can we change it to something else?
I was talking with my son about this. The way that the stadiums have been named of late, some big conglomerates buy the naming rights, and they're so unromantic.
Absolutely.
It's like TurboTax Arena and Crypto Arena and stuff like that. It's like they're so gross. At least Wrigley sounds really nice, and
so
Fenway and.
I couldn't agree with you more.
It's disgusting.
The funniest one for me is it's PNC Bank Arena in New Jersey. The Devils play there. A lot of college teams play there and all that stuff. It's PNC, the Bank of the Devils. Like, that's what they say in their in-rink. And it's like, do bankers really want devil with their line? But it's PNC, the Bank of the Devils. And I'm like, wow. That's
how out of hand all those people have gotten. It's like, it's part of their, they know. We all get it now. They're evil people. And now they're just like waving it in our faces.
They have so much money, and there's no real estate for them left to sponsor.
Yeah.
How many Scotiabank arenas / domes / stadiums? One. You've got one. There's a couple here. There's a couple. Rogers being obviously not a bank, but a big company.
The way I see it is they haven't paid me a dime to call it anything but the Sky Dome, or out here it's the Metro Center. And not that I'll find myself playing in any of those venues probably anytime soon, but I'm not, until they back a truckload of money into my yard. I'm not calling it the Scotiabank anything.
So it's Rogers Center, obviously the big place where the Blue Jays play, and now there's Rogers Stadium, which is in North Toronto, which is going to host a whole cavalcade of artists coming up this summer. Like we're talking big names, Coldplay and such.
Oh yeah, right. I heard about that place.
But
They're building it, right?
Rogers Center and Rogers Stadium might be a little bit too close for people to understand. So maybe I'm wrong when I say 6 months. It's going to take that much time. It may take 6 years. I saw something about Halifax today. By the way, Adam Baldwin's on the program. He's in Halifax. My name is Leake. I'm in Toronto. Weather is not warm in these places. We're not complaining just yet because winter is for indoor games anyways. Knowing too that there's a lot of people who listen in the prairies and it's literally minus 40 right now. You go outside in anywhere in the prairies today, you lose a nipple. Like it's just going to happen. But I saw something. You guys have a boil water advisory for a big hunk of Nova Scotia. Does that affect you?
Not me. I'm out. We're on well water out where I live. I'm about 35 minutes outside of the city. But yeah, there's a pile. I got an email from the school board today saying that a bunch of schools have to boil their water.
What'd they find? Was there like a dead seal in some filtration plant?
No, this happened actually just a few months ago. There was a similar thing happened where basically a guy kind of fell asleep. Literally like fell asleep while he was monitoring all this, the water filtration equipment, and the power went out or something. And I forget exactly what the story was, but it was human error. And I suspect that that's probably what's happened here. Yeah.
It sounds a lot like
raccoon or something.
Yeah. But it sounds a lot like Homer Simpson at the nuclear power plant.
Absolutely.
All the sirens are ringing in the background and this guy's just sawing logs.
Yeah.
Oh,
or he's listening to a Leak and Review with his headphones on. And
it just puts him to sleep immediately.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He has to zen out. Lastly, Adam, as we know, you're going to be out on the road, and we can find all the tour dates, all the info at adambaldwin.ca. He's the other Baldwin of the Baldwin family. And truthfully, I brought up that I was having a conversation with you to one of my neighbors, and they said, is that the one who was in The Usual Suspects, or is that the one who brought the loaded gun on set? I'm like,
Neither.
It's a songwriter out of Nova Scotia. You have some dates also coming up with Alan Doyle again.
Well, we are on a cruise ship from Bucharest to Budapest or something.
Get out of here.
I got paid to go on a cruise with Alan through Europe. So yes, I am very fortunate. I don't know if there's any cabins available left on that thing or not, but
how long do you go?
It's a week, I think, on this boat, and I might make a little trip out of it.
What's your requirement on this cruise? How many times are you playing a day?
3 times during the week. And what I did this a couple of years ago on a boat through France with Alan, and they got their money's worth out of me, man, because I just would drink too much, and there's a piano in the lounge of the thing, and then I park my ass there. Everybody would load me up with booze to sing Billy Joel songs. And so I wound up playing every night. I'm contractually obligated to play 3 times. I will play every single night.
It's nice too. You say that you can have some booze and all that, where if you're as I understand, a ship entertainer, that's off limits. 1, you can't have the booze. 2, you're not even really supposed to interact with the guests.
Right. Yeah, this is the greatest thing ever. I never had to do I never did the cruise ship thing, but some buddies of mine have done that. And that's exactly what they say. You're sort of kept in your quarters. You are not to fraternize with the paying customers. But in this case, they're all there to see Doyle, but they put my name on the poster, so I can kind of do whatever I want. And I did do whatever I want, and I will do whatever I want.
Is the weather good for cruising, or is it like one of those Alaskan cruises during the summer where it's like you still need a jacket?
I don't know. I've never been to that part of Europe, so I don't know what it's like. And I think we go in late April. France was beautiful when I was there fall of 22. It was wonderful. I don't know what to expect out of Hungary and Romania.
Well, you've got a couple months. I'm sure the Google machine will fire up and help you out.
Yeah, 100%.
New album. You say you've tracked about 25 songs. Why did you track them?
Yeah.
Why did you demo so many songs?
Well, because I get off of the road and then I don't know what to do with myself. So where I'm speaking to you from today this is my basement, my little, I call it the lanai. It's my kind of recording studio. I have a crude set up here, and to stay out, to keep my relationship with my partner Jessie alive and well, I usually spend my day down here, so that I don't drive her completely insane.
She's a stay-at-home.
She's a painter, so she spends her day working on art upstairs, and or out. She has a studio out in the backyard, but I know where to find her. So if I'm not occupied, I'll go bother her, and it's best.
You're the one who's doing the bothering.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're making all the sounds, making all the racket.
Well, if I were not down here doing this, then I'd be up like picking at her all the time, or trying to get some skin or whatever. Kids gone to school, I get out to it. So it's a good problem to have. I got a pile of songs that I can kind of try to work out in my head down here and track them. And
but why 25? Like that just seems like a big number.
I've been writing a lot, which is, again, it's a good problem to have. The first little while of my career, I had a really hard time writing songs. So whatever, the first 8 that I would write, I would put out, and that's not the way to do it. But I've sort of found myself settled into something. I've got a lovely home. I've got a little bit of a career, so I can kind of relax a little bit. And that, for whatever reason, it's helped me write a lot.
How many coffees do you take into the studio in the morning?
I don't usually come down until I've had 2, and then I'll drink coffee until about 1 p.m.
We won't interrupt you any further. We don't want to drag your coffee time out too much.
No, listen, it's a pleasure.
Adam Baldwin, dates coming up. Prince Edward Island this week, into Fredericton, Nova Scotia, playing Pictou. Is it Pictou?
Pictou.
Okay. At the DeCoste Center and Truro in Nova Scotia as well. And then, of course, that boat cruise with Alan Doyle coming up. And when is this new release going to come from you? These 25 songs. Will you get it down to 11? Will you bring it down to 6?
I'll whittle it down to something, and this is the thing that always drives me nuts. I'll hand the record in, and then it's usually a year or something, probably next year sometime.
Thanks for doing this, man, and have
Jeff,
fun out on the road.
Anytime, my bud. It's good to see you. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Thank you. That's the Leake in Review. Thanks for checking it out. Please share, please like, please comment. It means a lot to everybody here working at Shed of Dreams. Coming up later this week, the profound, super intelligent, and, well, I would say almost dangerous Jonathan Simkin, the owner of 604 Records, and Comedy Here Often podcast will drop by for a quick chat, and we'll find out just what's on his mind. Until then, I'm Leake at The Leake on all the socials, and we'll check in with you soon.
Now forget everything that you thought you knew from the shed of dreams.